Hello, my little readers. All ready for some fun and knowledge? Today, we will read a very interesting story from the series of Tiny Detectives by Cressida Cowell. The name of the story is Do Spiders Have Pets? If you like the stories of Tiny Detectives, do check the description box below. It has a playlist of all the stories by Cressida Cowell under the series of Tiny Detectives. Now let's start. Do spiders have pets? Meet the Tiny Detectives. The Tiny Detectives are very little indeed. They are also very curious. That's why they live in a bookcase. Because even littlest of people can find answers to big questions if they dive into a book. And that is exactly what the tiny detectives do best. One sunny day before lunch, Bo asked a big question. Beetle was wondering, do animals ever have pets? Said Bo, the littlest in the tiny family. Beetle was Bo's pet beetle. Beetle can't ask that question because Beetle can't talk, said Ollie, who was the eldest child. So he thought he knew best. Yes, he can, said Bo. You just have to speak the beetle language. That's silly. And of course, animals don't have pets, said Ollie. Only humans do that. Come on, tiny detectives, said Mom. Let's jump into a book and find out the answer. So the tiny detectives climbed to the top of the bookcase and opened a book called Jungles of Peru. Mom wound the red story thread around her waist so they could get back out of the book when they reached the end of their adventure. And they leapt right into the heart of the story, where the jungle was busy with life. Oh, an adorable dotted humming frog was hopping along the jungle floor. It's so sweet. Let's make it our pet, said Tiger, jumping beside it. Beetle looked a bit anxious. He thought there was only room for one pet in the tiny family. Suddenly, a praying mantis landed on the ground beside them. The praying mantis wasn't looking for a pet. The praying mantis was looking for lunch. The tiny detectives were so busy admiring the frog, only Beetle noticed the creature. He made loud strumming noises with his legs to warn everyone. But only Bo understood the beetle language, so only Bo turned around. Beetle is telling us to run away, shouted Bo. As the praying mantis flew after the frog, the tiny detectives ran. The frog hopped away towards a hole in a tree where one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight hairy legs were coming out one at a time. A huge tarantula spider stood in front of the tree hole like a great big bodyguard. The tiny frog hopped underneath it. The praying mantis took one look at the tarantula and flew away. Wow, said Ollie in amazement. I think this frog could be the pet of a tarantula. Tarantulas are not as scary as people think, said Mom, as the spider wandered back peacefully in the hole. Their bite is not much worse for humans than a bee sting. And they make wonderful homes, said Tiger admiringly, peering inside the hole in the tree. The tarantula had decorated its burrow with weaves of silver silk. There was a silk cocoon full of spider eggs. A mischievous little ant rushed in and tried to steal one. But the dotted humming frog frightened the ant away. And that's why the tarantula keeps the frog as a pet, said Dad with satisfaction. So animals do have pets, said Mom. The case is solved. And you do speak the beetle language, Bo, admitted Ollie. I'm sorry, I didn't believe you. Mom gave 3 big tugs on the red story thread, and the tiny detectives were pulled up, up, up through the leafy pages of the jungle and into the lunchtime heat of their very own bookcase. It's a shame we couldn't take the dear little frog home with us, said Tiger sadly. Beetle rustled his legs, but only Bo could understand what Beetle was saying. He was very glad the frog had stayed in the jungle. There was only room for one pet in the tiny family. The end. I hope, children, you enjoyed this beautiful, adventurous story. Now it's fun time. Can you find Beetle hiding in the jungle? Point it out to your parents and friends. Also, there is one more activity. Use the below sentence as a starter of your own story. It's for fun. The boy heard a croaking sound and looked down to see a little frog staring up at him. Now think and weave a story. We will be back with another story soon. Do share this with your friends and family. Now start framing your own story. Until then, goodbye and happy reading.